Welcome to the Dip Dive Podcast, where we explore ideas, stories, and conversations that matter. If you're into fresh perspectives and engaging discussions, hit subscribe and join the dive. Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how we love to take something you're already interested in and dig a little deeper. Well, today we're doing just that. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of compliments?
Compliments?
Yeah, but the kind that go wrong, like hilariously wrong.
Oh, I've definitely been on both sides of that.
Right. I came across this podcast laughing through it, and it's like packed with these stories about compliment fails.
Yeah.
And just got me thinking, what is it about compliments that can make them go so sideways?
Yeah, you think something so positive would be pretty straightforward.
Yeah. But it turns out there's a whole lot more to it. I mean, you got social dynamics, different ways people interpret things, even like unconscious biases and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It really is.
So should we just jump right in?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So one of the things they talked about on Laughing Through
Yeah.
is this idea of the backhanded compliment, where you're trying to be nice, but it comes out sounding kind of insulting.
Oh, yeah. The classic bless your heart kind of thing.
Exactly. Or telling someone, you're so smart for someone who didn't go to college. On the surface, it sounds like praise, right? But then there's that little
jab.
Little jab.
Like you're saying they shouldn't be smart because they didn't follow that traditional path.
Yeah, it's so weird how that happens. On the podcast, they had all these great examples like, that outfit's great. I would never be brave enough to wear something like that. Or you look so much better with makeup.
Ouch. Yeah, those are rough.
It's almost like they're trying too hard to be clever or funny.
Yeah, I think sometimes people just get caught up in trying to be different or stand out.
And then it just backfires spectacularly.
Yeah.
But what makes someone say those things?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of potential reasons. It could be like insecurity, where they're trying to subtly put someone else down to make themselves feel better. Or it could be like societal pressures, maybe they feel like they have to say something cutting or sarcastic to fit in.
Right, it's almost expected in certain situations.
Exactly. And then, of course, there are the unconscious biases we were talking about earlier. Without even realizing it, we might hold certain beliefs that influence the way we give compliments.
And then those slip out in these, weird little ways.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, actually.
It is. I mean, think about something like complimenting someone on their weight loss. But you say something like, oh, you look so healthy now.
Right, implying they weren't healthy before.
Exactly. That's got to sting.
Especially because weight and body image are such sensitive topics for a lot of people. Even a well-intentioned compliment can touch a nerve if it's not phrased carefully.
That makes sense. Okay, so moving on to a completely different kind of compliment fail. I am so guilty of these. Yeah. It's like those moments where your brain just completely malfunctions and you say something totally awkward without even thinking.
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
It's the worst. They talked about this on Laughing Through It too. Someone told their friend, you look so different today. And then just froze. Oh no, what did I just say?
It's like as soon as the words are out of your mouth, you realize how many ways that could be taken the wrong way.
Exactly. It's almost like a verbal slip up. Why does that happen?
Well, there's this thing called cognitive overload. Basically, when we're trying to process too much information at once, like social cues, what we want to say, how we want to come across, our brains can kind of short circuit.
And that's when the awkwardness comes out.
Exactly. Especially in social situations where we might feel a little bit more pressure, like maybe we're trying to impress someone or we're just nervous in general.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then there's the opposite of the awkward blunder. The super intense compliment, you're the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. The ones that are so over the top, they're almost uncomfortable.
Exactly. The host of Laughing Through, he was talking about how those can be just as bad as a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, because they often come across as insincere. Are you really saying that? Or are you just trying to flatter me for some reason?
It's where's the line between a genuine compliment and laying it on too thick?
It's a tough one. I think it really comes down to the context and the relationship between the people involved. If you're really close to someone, a more effusive compliment might be fine. But if it's someone you don't know very well, it can be a little much.
Yeah, I guess it's all about reading the room. So with all these potential pitfalls, is there a secret formula for giving a good compliment?
Well, I don't know about a secret formula, but I do think there are a few key things to keep in mind. First of all, be mindful. Like, really think about what you're saying and how it might be perceived by the other person.
That makes sense.
Are you focusing on something you genuinely appreciate about them? Or is it more about, like, trying to impress them or get something from them?
That's a good point.
And try to be specific. Instead of just saying, you're so smart, try to tie your compliment to a specific action or quality. Like, I was really impressed with your presentation today.
Oh, yeah, I like that. It feels more personal and genuine.
Exactly. And it shows that you're actually paying attention.
So basically, just be sincere, think before you speak, and try to personalize it.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty doable, right? Have you ever been in a situation where a compliment, like, totally backfired? Either you gave one or received one.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how something that's supposed to be positive can become so complicated.
It is. But hey, I guess that's part of what makes human interactions so interesting, right? Even our mistakes can be learning experiences.
Totally. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
And hey, let us know. What are some of your most memorable compliment fails?
We'd love to hear them.
Until next time.
See you later.